watching America Trends. I'm Mary Burt-Godwin, and we have a fascinating guest up next. I cannot wait to meet him and introduce you to him. His name is Yehiel Atias. He's the co-founder and CEO of Hexa, which is one of the world's fastest growing 3D visualization platforms. And I too was thinking, what does Hexa do? I can't wait to find out. And it's pretty fascinating. And I cannot wait to chat with you. Yehiel, welcome to America Trends.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Hi, yes, absolutely. So I was diving into your website a little bit and I have so many questions. So I'm so glad you joined us today because I really think business owners and entrepreneurs are really going to want to know what you guys can provide. But first, tell me a little bit about you.
Oh, myself.
Yeah.
I live in Tel Aviv. It's a bit late now in the day.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
With the three kids that are sleeping now. Hexa is my third company. We started it 6 years ago, and we try to solve the fact that it's very hard to buy clothes online. From there, 6 years later, Hexa is now one of the, as you said, largest content providers in the 3D space.
Yeah, so talk to me about that because it is very true how, everyone's shopping online now. That's where we have moved to. I mean, some people go out, but it's so much easier to do it online. And it's very hard to see. I mean, I know it moved from like one image to now maybe you can have a few different images, a front and back, but what you do is a whole 3D technology. Is that right?
Yeah, that is correct. Exactly. So our main challenge is to convert a very partial data set, so as little as one image, into a high fidelity 3D asset, right? So you can actually engage with it and see it from any angle that you want.
Wow.
That's basically what the technology is providing. So the only machine that can do that today is the human brain.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Hexa is mimicking.
Wow, that's fascinating. So you can, any company could work with you. So talk to us about what brands you work with.
Logitech, Crate & Barrel, Macy's, soon more that we can discuss, but very large retailers and brands in the fashion, furniture, and consumer electronics space.
And so how does it work? I mean, did they send you the product and you create it, or do you go to them and look at all the products, or do you just take a photo of it and create it from that?
Right. So no, we just take the product page and we convert that product page, whatever information you have on your PDP or product page, we'll convert that into a 3D model.
You have all the software to do that, or the technology to do that?
That is correct. Yes, we've created a platform, one of the world's most powerful 3D tech stack, to create, manage, display, and analyze your 3D projects. So the challenge is, how do everybody's looking at this new shiny thing, the new way of shopping and engaging and, giving your shoppers a better visual experience or a better, experience in general online. But it seems very hard to reach. So we've simplified that process. And today, all you need to do is literally send us a URL of one of our product pages, and the next time you'll see your product, it'll already be in 3D or AR, whatever you want to do with it.
Wow, and then you the brand would embed it into their landing page for that product.
That is correct, yes. They can either embed it within their own homepage or their own product pages, or they can distribute it globally. So a Logitech will actually use Hexa's infrastructure to distribute their content globally. One of the most interesting projects that we have done for Logitech is distributing their content to JD.com in China. And every time as a brand, when you redistribute your 3D content, the amount of value that you're able to extract from each of your models, each of your products, keeps on increasing.
Wow. So what do you think is the next step for something like this? I mean, I'm seeing this now. I mean, you mentioned Macy's, and I just was shopping on Macy's recently, and I think I remember seeing some things, where it's so helpful to the consumer to be able to engage in that way. And do you think this seems like it's the trend right now, the future?
Yeah, so we're seeing a massive trend, and this is moving from a nice to have to a necessity. This is not only about increasing your online sales and giving your customers a better experience. This is also about cost savings. So in the near future, once you have that digital twin, you'll be able to synthesize or to render 2D images out of that 3D model. So instead of going and spending money and time and efforts into a photo shoot, you can just click a button and render a model shot of, let's say, a bracelet or a bag on top of any 2D model that you want.
Wow. I mean, this is, I think everyone's going to need to do this in this retail space, because as a shopper, this is exactly what you would want to have, and you need it in order to get the feel, and nobody wants to go out anymore. Nobody wants to go shopping anymore. So it was
it's just easier.
Yeah, it's easier. And I mean, it's, certainly easier, quicker, more, not, I don't know if it's quicker, but certainly now with shipping and everything, it just seems like it's an easier situation. So I saw something in the notes that you had the Snapchat Microsoft announcement.
Yes. So last week we launched our partnership with the LA Lakers, Snapchat and Microsoft. And, we discussed about the new ways of shopping, and this is exactly that. So now when you go into the Lakers website and you want to buy LeBron's jersey, that is typically sold out very quickly, you can actually try it on yourself instead of going to the shop or store. So this is one of the world's largest attempts at virtual try-on. And again, it's just the attempt of getting that product closer to you. It's just in a digital and more efficient way.
That looks so cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love that. And what do you think are some of the best practices for this industry of, retail space and the 3D modeling?
Right. So first of all, try to understand your content strategy. It is changing. It has to change into 3D. Again, from two main aspects, very simple. You can increase your sales and you can lower your visualization cost and add that flexibility. You can hyper personalize your visual experience. So Mary, when you go into the website, you'll see the clothing or you'll see the furniture inside either models that you like or rooms that you prefer. And then it gives you more confidence. And then in the click of a button, you can put that sofa inside your room. So the way that we're creating content has to change fast. And best practice, look for the vendors, look for the creators that can create the assets that makes the most amount of value. Either with repurposing, right? So if you have aspirations into distributing your content into, I don't know, a new metaverse or a new use case, you want to use Google Swirl, new 3D ad format, you want to use snap lenses. These are all possibilities that wasn't there before. So when retailers and brands now need to design their content strategy, they need to take into account those new possibilities.
So you just mentioned metaverse, and that makes me wonder, how does this going to move into, is there an easy transition from what you're doing into the metaverse? It certainly seems like it because everything there is 3D.
Yeah. So when we design the content strategy for our partners, we make sure that the assets that we're creating can be repurposed into any use case, including metaverses that are, popping up like mushrooms after rain. So it's an exciting time to live in, and it's definitely very hard to keep up with the pace of innovation in the 3D and AR space. But a rule of thumb is just make sure that the content that you're creating can be repurposed, and use those experts out there to help you guide the way.
Yeah, I mean, repurposing of content is something I've been talking about for a long time in just the marketing space of like, make sure you can put it on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And now it's those places and the metaverse, right? It's a whole nother layer. I mean, I think with Mark Zuckerberg's announcement a while back with Facebook, becoming Meta and the metaverse, it changed the landscape of everything, and we didn't even really know it. But I think at that point, big companies and small started to go, oh, I got to start thinking in this way, And so 3D modeling and everything, it's going to shift in some way, big or small. So I think it's really important, and I love what you do. I think that businesses are really need to know what you do up there. And tell us your website again.
Sorry?
Your website URL?
Oh, it's hexa3d.io.
Hexa3d.io. Thank you so much, Yehiel, for being here with us today, because this is fascinating stuff. And I appreciate you taking the time to chat with us. And everyone home, stick around. We've got more America Trends right after this quick break.